Hi, Claire here from Animal Energy Therapies. I thought I would post this video to tell you a little bit about some of the issues that I'm working with just now in the clinic and via remote connection with my clients. And that's skin conditions. That seems to be a really big thing at the moment. And it used to be that during the summer months was when we would see dogs and animals come in with skin conditions, as the weather was hotter. But we're starting to see this into the winter months as well now. And the core reason for this, the way I work, is anxiety seems to be driving this. Now, anxiety obviously is an emotional issue, and anxiety is a fear of the future. And that's something that our animals do suffer from quite a bit, but we don't often realise it. We're not often aware of it. So how does that affect the skin? Well, anxiety as an emotion sits within the lungs. And, you'll notice this yourself if you're an anxious person, where you will perhaps shallow breathe, or as you start to become stressed and anxious, you will notice that you'll take in deep breaths, or you might even have to remind yourself to breathe a little bit as well. So that emotion affects the lungs, and it affects the efficiency of the lungs, and therefore the efficiency of the body to take in oxygen. Now, when the body does take in oxygen, it operates in a kind of triage system, and that oxygen will go to the vital organs first. Now, if your animal is in an anxious state, perhaps even long term, they'll constantly be in a state of fight-flight. So they're expecting some traumatic event where they'll have to fight for their life, or they're in real danger. There is a real threat. So the blood will pump to those essential organs, those main organs, and vital organs, but we'll really forget about the skin because it's not such a big deal. It's not one of those vital organs that does need those supplies. So what happens is the body triages where the oxygen is going to go. It goes to the brain, the heart, all those types of things, but there's often not enough left to get to the skin. And so therefore blood flow as well to the skin is reduced, and those nutrients, those key nutrients that the skin needs, just don't get there. So the skin starts to become dry and can become itchy, and in those cases that's where the dogs are scratching. So to fix this, I always work on the emotion of the anxiety. We get to the core root of this. Is it anxiety? Where did it come from? And then we start to reverse that. It's such a powerful way of doing it, and it helps the animal on so many levels, because you're not just medicating to try and make the skin better and less irritable. You're actually helping the whole nervous system just calm down a little bit, so the animals are in a much better state moving forward, and it's going to prevent more illnesses in the longer term as well, because that type of emotional stress does cause lots of problems moving forward. So some of the techniques that I use is neurological kinesiology. So we go into the limbic system and actually reset it almost back to factory settings. So before there was any programs of anxiety running in the background, we go back and we reset it from there. We calm the nervous system down. We restore the energy flow to the lungs by using the lung meridian and acupressure points, and other energy medicine techniques to restore the energy that's flowing, resets the lungs back to normal, improves their function so they can absorb more oxygen, and that oxygen then gets to the skin. Now, some dogs, for example, are more prone to this than others, especially some of the brachycephalic breeds with the shortened face, your French bulldogs, Cavalier King Charles, those kinds of things, because the oxygen supply is already restricted because of the soft palate at the back of their throat. So they are perhaps more likely to suffer from this kind of thing. However, once we restore that energy flow to the lungs, we can greatly increase the efficiency of oxygen use in the body, clearing all those symptoms. So if your animal has this issue, if it's got itchy skin and you're treating it with medication and you're just not getting the results you want, perhaps have a look at the emotional reason and drop us a message through Messenger. We'll get back in touch with you and we'd be happy to work with you, or at least discuss with you how we would treat this moving forward. Okay, thank you for listening, and I hope you found this of interest.